So, I was not planning on making this video because I didn't expect teasers to start this soon, but lo and behold, they have. So, remember how back in Chapter 4, when Fortnite sent out these boxes to certain content creators and they were helped to promote Fortnite OG? This was huge at the time, because we had no idea Fortnite would even consider going back to the OG map at the time. We just all sort of thought, like, okay, OG Fortnite's in the past, it's never going to happen again. But lo and behold, they hyped us up by sending out pins, OG music, some clips of people's old Chapter 1 videos, which was, oh my gosh, it was just a different time to play the game. The amount of hype, not just inside the Fortnite community, but in the gaming community in general, the hype around this was so huge. You just kind of had to be there. And Fortnite's doing the same thing again, but in my opinion, it doesn't really have the same hit because we've known that Chapter 2 OG was going to happen for a while. This is what I didn't like when the roadmap got leaked. Like, yeah, it was cool to see that we had all of this stuff coming, but at the same time, I kind of wish a lot of it was kept a secret, so that way Fortnite didn't have a thing where it was like, hey, Marvel season! Yeah, we've known about this for the past, 2 weeks, Fortnite. No you didn't! That wasn't real! There's not enough evidence! Like, seriously, could you have imagined the hype at D23 when they announced the Marvel season if we didn't know that it was going to be a Marvel season? It would be insane, the amount of hype that there was. But I'm getting sidetracked, and I am going to talk about everything that came in this box that was sent to content creators, and everything that I think is going to happen in Remix, because it's going to be really different. So, instead of calling this Chapter 2 OG or Rewind or something, they're calling it Remix, which I find extremely interesting. It doesn't really surprise me that Fortnite isn't calling this OG because as much as it pains me to say, Chapter 2 is not OG. It's not the original map, it's not the original loot pool. Well, I mean, I guess it is because of the scar in the pump, but still not the original loot pool. So I just assumed they would call this something like Fortnite Rewind or Fortnite Retro or something like that. But no, they're calling it Remix, and I'll get into this later in the video, but it really has some gears grinding in my head because I have a couple ideas of what this could mean. But moving along, we also got sent some pins which give us indications on the battle pass, the stuff that's going to be in Vaulted, and also which seasons we're going back to. Now, this might come as a shocker, but we're going back to Chapter 2 Season 2. I know, how crazy is this? No freaking way! It also looks like we're gonna go back to Chapter 2 Season 1 and Chapter 2 Season 3 because of the Ripley pin and also the shark pin that we got. And sharks were introduced in Chapter 2 Season 3, plus it was an ocean theme. This just makes sense. We also got some stuff for a boombox and the boogie bomb, which I'm pretty hyped for. Moving on to some skins in the battle pass, we're going to get a remix of Midas and Meowscles called Midas Meowscles. Actually, I don't really know the name of the skin yet, but still, I think this is a really cool looking skin. Granted, it is just the head, so we don't know that much about it, but still, it looks really cool. It also looks like we're going to get a remix of Tiantina and Ocean, which is a really interesting combination, but I'm down for it because, like I said, the head, the face, it just all looks really good. However, there is one pin that confuses me on why it's on here. A Rift Butterfly. Why is this on here? The Rift Butterfly event was back in Chapter 1 Season 6. Why is it in Chapter 2? Well, if you don't remember, at the beginning of Primal of all things, there was a live event where it was solo, and the second you logged on, there would be an event that you could go through. And Jonesy turned into a Rift Butterfly, and you would follow him in order to try to save the Foundation, I guess, while he, freaking crusted the tower or something. I don't know. The live event was alright. However, this makes me think one thing. Fortnite is doing the unthinkable and going back to Primal. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I took a long time to look at this and I could not find a single instance of the Rift Butterfly ever appearing other than a Chapter 2 Season 8 trailer where the Cube Queen just crushed her. So either Fortnite ran out of ideas for pins and just threw this one in here, or they're actually doing the unthinkable and going back to Primal. Why would they do this? Well, I'll get into that at the end of the video. Let's go through the rest of the stuff that came in the box. That being only one thing, a new remix of the Chapter 2 Season 2 Spy theme, made by Marshmello. Why? Just why? Holy, this is so trash. No, you have no right to say Mello made it right. Mello made it trash. Okay, that's really the only other thing in the box, a very bad music remix of this, and it makes no sense. But why is Fortnite calling this remix of all things? I think it's because it's not going to be like OG, where we go back to the original seasons and play through them again. It's going to be a remixed version. We're going to go back to the seasons that they listed, but it's not going to be the same. There are going to be aspects from other seasons sprinkled around in there. Like, for example, when we go back to Chapter 2, Season 1, instead of it just being an absolute snooze fest because, holy, that season was boring, we instead have some little aspects of Chapter 2, Season 7 sprinkled in there. And maybe when we go to Chapter 2, Season 3, we get some elements of Season 5 just sprinkled in there a little. This isn't a return to Chapter 2. This is an alternate timeline somehow. I don't know how it works, but I'm glad Fortnite is doing this instead of just bringing back the old map and then leaving everything unchanged. I love how Fortnite is remixing it. This is how I think OG season should be done. Instead of just going back to the season and leaving nothing changed, we instead go back there and sprinkle some other aspects from other seasons in there, saying like, hey, how would this gun play out on this map? Well, let's find out. How would this POI be next to this POI? Well, let's find out. It's a great way to go back and relive those memories that we had back in those days, while also keeping it fresh enough so that way it doesn't feel like Fortnite is just adding back the old map and then leaving it as it is. Overall, remember how I said I was scared for Chapter 2 OG? I still am, and I do have my worries, but I honestly am way more hyped now. This season looks like it could be extremely fun, especially since they're not just bringing back the 3 seasons, and instead, they're going to sprinkle in some other aspects of other seasons. Maybe putting some POIs on the map that weren't in that season, or adding some weapons that weren't even from Chapter 2, like maybe they throw in the hammer assault rifle into the loot pool. I freaking love that AR, so I would not be complaining. I'm overall just so glad that Fortnite is going back to Chapter 2. It seems like it's going to be so much fun, especially since they're not going to just bring it back and leave it as it is. They're actually going to take their time to change things up, and I'm all here for it. That's all I wanted to say. Be sure to like and subscribe. If we hit 10K by the end of the year, I'll do an elbow reveal. Also, use code LilSmurf. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.